you singing in the mic, David.
I love it.
You must like that song. Should we get him another verse?
Just do the whole song.
There you go, David. Come on.
Let's get back to business. Let's get back to business.
David, welcome back. So, we're in helping people make these right decisions. You're obviously committed to your trade. You've won Seattle Magazine's 5-star Best in Client Satisfaction Award every year it's been offered. RE/MAX Hall of Famer, which speaks for itself. I know we talk with a lot of real estate agents. We work with a lot of real estate agents. We're in the real estate world and mortgage. And you guys face a lot of challenges in your line of work. We've talked about a lot of them over the last 9 months. So I kind of have a couple questions for you specifically. What do you think is the biggest question folks have on their minds today regarding real estate? And then how do you accomplish helping them answer those questions? And what's that kind of average day work out in helping guide those people?
Hi, Ben. It's great to be back.
Well, David,
can we have some more music?
I'm sorry, when you started singing you start singing, we're good.
I just love that song. I just think that Randy Newman is just a brilliant guy anyway.
And you have a much better voice than anticipated.
Not singing. My daughter tells me not even to sing in the shower.
Really?
Yes. And to sing on a microphone, I mean, if she heard me right now, she would disown me. Yeah.
Can we get his daughter on the line? Just kidding.
She's in LA. She's actually a singer, real singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so talk a little bit about how that average day for you kind of goes as a real estate agent and dealing with some of those big questions that people have.
Well, an average day is never an average day because the phone rings, you have everything set up and planned, and the phone rings, and your whole day is gone. What I'd like to get back a little bit to what you said, what is on most people's minds today. And I sat down on, I think it was Thursday night, and I was going to put together my notes for this show today. And I have my computer, and I have my Word document there, and I have my fingers all ready to type, and nothing was typed. And I sat and stared at that. So I started Googling news articles. I started Googling stuff to see what we wanted to talk about. And I really couldn't figure it out. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I had clients all days. So in the car between one house and the next house, I'd ask them, hey, what do you if you were going to listen to a radio show tomorrow and it was going to be about real estate, what would you want to hear? And one of the guys said, well, is it a better investment to buy a home or a townhome? Well, that's kind of a no-brainer, but again, that depends. The next couple, the next day, they didn't answer me for a while, so I kept pushing them, and they said, well, he says, I really want to know whether or not the Seahawks are going to sign Peyton Manning. So if you can talk about that and figure that out, that's what I'd like to hear.
He's not even coming here.
Well, look at the weather outside. Why would he want to come here?
Because we're the Seahawks. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's, that is an interesting part about the real estate market. Because Peyton Manning is trying to find the best market for himself. He's trying to find the best landing spot to call home. People who are looking for real estate are trying to find the best real estate or home for themselves. And as Peyton Manning is doing it, he's trying to find a team that's trending up. He's trying to find a team that is going to take him or help he can take to the Super Bowl. I think in real estate, it's kind of similar.
It is similar. And I've got one, and the topic I chose on the trend of real estate, it came from a client. They're have purchased from me before, and we've been looking for a new home for them for about a year. And so they want to move from the Seattle side to the east side. So we're over on the east side. And it was really interesting that they found a house on Sunday. They went to an open house on Sunday. They called me Sunday night and said, we really like this house. Here's the MLS number. I looked it up. I did a market analysis on it, went to look at the house before I came here, talked to the agent, and she may have 2 or 3 offers on it in the next day or two. It's $975,000. Just went on the market on Saturday was the first day. Mm-hmm. And we weren't seeing that 6 months ago. We weren't seeing that a year ago, but we're seeing more and more and more of that today. That tells you that the trend is getting more positive. People's attitudes are getting more positive. People aren't as afraid to buy today. They aren't as afraid of the market today as they were a few years ago or even six months ago. So in my market analysis, what I looked at is we have the ability to bring up trends, and I looked at trends for the neighborhood as Lakemont. And prices in Lakemont for the last 9 months have stayed absolutely flat. They have not gone down a bit. However, people write in the newspaper and they go on radio shows and they talk about, oh, prices are still falling in Seattle and King County. Median prices are going down. Well, median prices may be going down, but in a lot of neighborhoods, the prices have stayed really, really firm. Then I looked at number of sales, and number of sales have trended up in the neighborhood starting in February of 11 until November of 11, and then they take their seasonal drop off. And so far, at the beginning of this year, sales are up again. And we're coming into our busiest time. Then I looked at short sales and foreclosures, and they are just like falling off a cliff. They're just coming down and down and down and down. So the trend is, and I really believe that we've been at the bottom, and now I think we're past the bottom. The trend is positive.
And that positive trend, I mean, we've looked at that for months. We've talked about not being able to see the bottom until it's in the rearview mirror.
Yep.
What are some of the, big examples you can give that maybe allow you to look back and say, yeah, we are kind of looking in the rearview mirror? I mean, you've done this a long time.
Yeah, and and I tried to put that into more of a scientific framework when I was thinking about this, and a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is just I've been in this business a long time, and I look at, I'm pretty observant. I look at stuff and I look at where things are going. I've been able to predict when we've had downturns in the market and upturns, and so you get a sense, and I think good agents really get a sense of where things are going. I think we're one of the first people to do that. I think the newspapers, the media, they get a sense that we've hit the bottom once we're well past it. And so then the next thing I did is I actually went online and I tried to find some statistics. I know you don't like statistics, but I found them anyway.
Why don't I like statistics?
Well, because you can make them say whatever you want them to say.
Well, it doesn't mean I don't like them.
Well, you've told me you didn't like them, so I wanted to make you happy. I wanted to make you happy.
I love statistics.
How did you do on the putt, by the way? Did you hit the green?
Oh, I tell you. So here's what's wild. When there's about a quarter inch of hail on the ground, if you ever play golf, it really slows it down. I mean, you cannot putt through a quarter inch of hail. So no, I left it short.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the diversion, folks. What I did is I actually went on the.
If there's golfers out there now, they know.
But if there's golfers out there now, they're crazy.
Well, they probably wouldn't be listening either. So if they're out there and they're listening and they end up in a quarter or half inch of hail, you could chip.
You could chip on the green. Yeah. In fact, you might even need a 9-iron. I looked at the National Associations of Realtors website because they really have been pretty accurate over the last several years. And their chief economist, I don't remember what his name is. I'm going to have to read some of this. He says, the uptrend in house sales is in line with all the underlining fundamentals. And that's a pent-up household formation. And I'll get back to what he means by household formation. Record low mortgage interest rates, bargain home prices, and a sustained, I'm not too sure about this one, but a sustained job creation and rising rents. The pent-up household formation is two people coming together to live in the same household. So people have been afraid to get married, is what he's talking about. People have afraid to go out and buy houses together. People have just been afraid to buy houses, and that is starting to go away. The total housing inventory in January, this is nationally, fell by 0.4%, and that's really a lot. And inventories were at a 6.4 or almost 6.5 months of inventory nationally, and now it's down to about 6 months of inventory, and that's only happened in the last 2 months. So things are moving. And here in the Seattle area, the greater Seattle area, we're seeing inventories really back to the levels back in 2005, 2006. There's not a lot of inventory. So the good things that come up now are selling quickly.
David, we just have a couple minutes left before we have to go to break. Again, we're here with David Bell, a resident RE/MAX Hall of Famer. David, these numbers kind of reflect what you're seeing, right? I mean, you look at the statistics, it reflects what you're seeing. And in fact, in the last hour, we were talking to one of the partners from Kidder Matthews, commercial real estate. And he said a lot of the business owners are making decisions. The numbers make sense, but their gut is also telling them that it's okay to maybe expand, or they're bursting at the seams. There's nowhere else for them to go. It seems like you're kind of getting that same feeling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if somebody is out there today, you have to still be careful what you buy. But if they're out there today and they've got the wherewithal to buy a home, they should buy a home. I mean, what are interest rates right now? I don't follow them daily.
Through anywhere in the high 3s to low 4s.
Okay.
I mean, it's insane. We actually were just discussing in the last hour about how the interest rate effect, and when rates go up 1 or 2%, it can have a drastic effect on your purchasing power.
Well, I think I did an analysis on this show a few months ago where a $500,000 loan at a 7% mortgage rate, which is historically a great mortgage rate, versus today's mortgage rate. Today's mortgage rate gives that person another $150,000 worth of buying power
for the same monthly payment.
The same monthly payment, and house prices have come down 25 or 30%. Come on, I mean, this is
yeah, it is. So you can talk about statistics, and it's not that I don't like statistics. I do like them, but
we can twist them.
Well, people can twist them, and I think that you can end up in that paralysis by analysis.
That's right.
And you end up, I like the military concept. If you have 70% of the information and 70% of that information is a go, that's when you can make those decisions, because you don't have a crystal ball, you don't know, and you have to make those decisions kind of based on now. We have to go to break in just a quick second. Last question for you. So you've been in the business a long time. You work with a lot of clients. You know what's trending in the markets. So how do you go about your normal day of working with clients and also staying on top of the market?
Well, what I do is I set all my clients up. If they're buyers, I set my buyers up on an automatic program that actually searches the MLS for new listings and price reductions. So then it notifies me. So every day I bring that up, and I could have anywhere from 20 to 30 houses that I need to filter through to see if they're really good houses. And I'm able to look at their street, the location. I'm able to get a satellite view of it so I can see if they're behind a bowling alley or something. And if
is that bad?
That's bad. That's bad. Yeah. You don't want to be.
Unless whatever you have, unless you're a bowler.
Yeah. But it's bad. So I look at that, and then the ones that I think are good properties, then I send to them, and then they look at them, and then we will go out and physically look at the best ones. And that's, and then it's a matter of education. It's a matter of having patience. It's a matter of slowing some people down sometimes. There's some people that just want to buy, and that's great, but you got to make sure you buy the right thing. And so it's kind of holding them back a little bit and just making sure we make a good decision.
Well, it comes back to finding somebody who can help you make that good decision, because like Peyton Manning wants to find the right landing spot.
I think Seattle would be a good spot for him.
Yeah, I can only hope and dream.
I
do. I hope he comes. But, as Peyton Manning looks for the right home, so do other people. And people can be very meticulous in their decisions, but they need to know that the right coach is there, which can come in the form of a professional, or in this case, real estate broker. David, thanks so much for joining us. When we come back, making the right decision is kind of like driving carefully. But what happens when you don't drive carefully in the insurance world? My name's Ben Brash, and Brett Chittum's going to join us. We're talking about aggressive drivers and how you can stay safe. We'll be right back.